Hello, this is a short tutorial on some basic scorekeeping that you would use for baseball and softball. So what we have here is a completed game and what it will end up looking like. And I just want to take you through step by step on the process of what you're keeping track of as a scorekeeper. So the very first thing you're going to do before the game starts is to get the lineup from both coaches and write the team names at the top, and then the lineup will go here. And I recommend putting in the jersey numbers also, so then as they're coming up to bat, you'll know that the correct player is up to bat. So you'll do one team on this side, and then the other team would go on the flip side of your scorekeeping book. So game starts, and let's say Joseph gets up and Joe hits to an okay hit and gets to first base. So you draw a line of Joe getting to first. And then Julian gets up and he also hits and he gets to first. So if he's at first, then we know that Joe has had to move to second. So then you move Joe around to second. Then Lucas gets up and he gets a strike called and then a ball, and then he hits the next pitch and it gets caught. So there's an out. So for the outs, you just write one and then circle it, or depending on what out number it was. Okay, and then Connor gets up and he has a big hit. And he's going to get all the way around to third. So we'll draw Connor to third. And then that means that Joe gets around all the way to home. And Julian gets around to home. So you have them go all the way around the bases and then color it in. So you're able to easily count how many runs have been scored. And then Tommy, he gets 3 strikes. So for a strikeout, you'll write a K, and then that'll be your second out. So you write the 2 and circle it. And then Peter, you're keeping track of the balls and the strikes for when the umpire is calling the game. And if he gets 4 balls, he gets a walk. So he makes it to first. We don't do anything with Connor because Connor's just hanging out at third here. And then Zach gets up and let's have him strike out. So we have another K for strikeout and then 3 for the third out. So at the end of that time at bat for this team, you would write the number 3 and then make a line across. So you can see up at the top, that was for the first inning. All of these guys batted. And then the second inning, we will want to start with Alex. And for the sake of just keeping it clean, you might want to cross out these guys that don't have a chance to bat in the first inning. So then you remember for the second inning to start over here. So as a scorekeeper for home run baseball, we need you to keep track of the count. So if it's balls and strikes, 3 strikes is an out, 4 balls is a walk, meaning they get to go to first. And then you get 3 outs per inning, or 5 runs per inning. So as a scorekeeper, you'll work with the other scorekeeper, because you'll keep track for both teams. So there'll be 2 scorekeepers, one from each team at every game. And if there's ever a time when you lose track of how many balls or strikes, you can just ask the umpire nicely and he'll let you know what the count is for the batter. And then at the end of that at bat, you'll add them up. So we have 2 runs, and then you'll just write 2 up at the top to keep track of it. So I wanted to show you what this would look like. Then in a game, so there's your team names and your lineup, and we can see here who all scored. So we had 5 runs scored that inning. And then the next inning, there were 3 quick strikeouts. And then the next inning was 5 runs. And so you can just then easily keep track and find out what the score is. And then if the players or the coaches want to know score or how many outs, you're the person they can talk to. So you need to keep track of the count against the batter, how many runs are scored, and how many outs have happened during an at-bat. All right, and then at the end of the game, you tally up your final score and return the scorebook to the coach. So if you're scorekeeping, you're going to want a good pencil not a pen, because you will make mistakes. And then the coaches will have the scorebook in the gear bag. I hope this answers any questions.